Welcome to the Oasis, a beautiful world where only the limit to what you can do is your own imagination. The Oasis is a virtual reality world that can be accessed anywhere by anyone with a VR headset. This world is from the film Ready Player One and is based off Ernest Cline's best-selling novel. While the general plot remains the same as the book, the movie, directed by none other than Steven Spielberg, implements film techniques to make the viewer feel more connected to the plot and the characters. When the protagonist of the story, Wade, is introduced in the beginning of the film, he is shown in the real world living in Columbus, Ohio, in a futuristic trailer park known as The Stacks. The camera follows his descent from his aunt's RV down to his hideout, where he keeps all of his equipment for escaping to the Oasis. In the scene, it shows different people and families and how they live with this futuristic lifestyle and how it's affecting them positively, such as practicing your boxing skills and ordering a pizza, and negatively, such as neglecting your child and causing a house fire. This style of shot is called a long cut, or famously known as a oneer. Spielberg loves implementing oneers into his films. This introductory scene of Wade is a compilation of short oneers that follow his descent to his hideout. Spielberg uses this technique in Jaws, like in this scene, where the camera stays rolling and stationary while the background is constantly changing and moving as the ferry moves. In this scene, in Indiana Jones: Raiders of the Lost Ark, the camera constantly pans back and forth between two characters, but never cuts. It keeps the natural, competitive feeling of the scene completely intact. Spielberg chooses a oneer instead of using a more traditional shot-reverse shot to prevent interrupting the flow that this scene contains. Similarly to Ready Player One, in Saving Private Ryan, the camera follows a specific character through their movements within the scene. The camera follows as he shelters from fire, moves in and out of buildings, weaves between windows and doorways, regardless of any set effects or special effects put into the scene. Going back to the opening scene of this video, introducing the Oasis, Spielberg also uses another oneer shot, flying through it, showing all the different planets, places, and things to do. The point of this shot is not only for the viewer to be introduced to what the Oasis is, but also the appeal of why everyone wants to go there. The mystifying music mixed with the camera work puts the viewer in awe and sees the difference between the rundown and crummy world to the new and fancy Oasis. Another tactic used by Spielberg is the camera position to emphasize which characters hold power. The most important power dynamic in the film is between Wade and his friends against the company IOI. The IOI is led by a greedy, power-hungry, and as Wade describes him,
this dickweed named Nolan Sorrento.
His loss of power at the end of the film is shown with camera work by switching from an upward-facing to downward-facing camera angle. This is especially symbolic because the downward angle places us, the audience, and implicitly the other characters above him. In this scene, the prisoners held captive by IOI are filmed using a downward angle, emphasizing their lack of power in the situation. In this scene, as Wade confronts Nolan, he is filmed using an upward angle, showing that he currently has control of the situation, whereas Nolan is shown with a downward angle, implying his momentary weakness and submission to Wade and his partner.
She's in, and the access code to contact her.
Yeah, that seems appropriate.
The tempting escape from reality that the Oasis provides is a tricky situation to consider, since we are especially lured in by its endless possibilities. However, abuse of power corrupts a fantasy world that we once found so charming. As seen through the use of camera angles in Spielberg's long shots, cinematography is equally as important in storytelling as is screenwriting. Spielberg makes the film especially zoned through his use of his unique techniques. In Ready Player One, Ernest Cline creates a jarring narrative, and Steven Spielberg brings it to life.